The Nürburgring Nordschleife, a track located in Nürburgring, Germany, and is infamous for many reasons, but among those is its length, elevation changes, undulations, rapid camber changes, 176 corners and the constant view of greenery passing you by. All this has led to this track being known as the Green Hell. Help! 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 I always knew that as someone who loves toge racing, I had to come here at some point because after driving this track as much as I have, it does really feel like a giant toge circuit. So with that said, this is the beginning of the Nords Progressive series. Much like how I am doing time attacks in toges with different drivetrains and doing both hill climbs and downhill attacks, here at the Nordschleife I will be doing a time attack with a faster class of car, but still trying each drivetrain as I progress, provided that class of car has those drivetrain options. What's up my fellow racers, it's your favorite racing Reaper Sheeny. Man, it's been a minute since I've been talking in a video, but this video is special because of the nostalgic feeling I had when making this one. Over a decade ago, when I was in my teen years, I was playing Gran Turismo 4 on the PS2, and for those of you who played it, you will remember the one license challenge where we had to do a drive with the 190E Evo around the Nordschleife. The target was to complete a clean lap in a maximum time of 10 minutes. This license challenge tormented me so much, it took me 6 months just to be able to come within the slowest allowed time, and I couldn't get it better than that at that point. Now so many years later in a different game with better physics, better peripherals, having a much better idea of how car control works, and thank goodness for no safety car in front of me. Can I take the same car around the same track, overcome my PTSD, and be faster than I was in the GT4 license challenge? We will find out, but before that, let's go over some specs and details about the 190E Evo 2.
The year is 1990, and this was a time when the world was reaching a very big turning point. I don't even need to look very far, I just need to look at home, because this was the year Nelson Mandela was released from prison and the end of apartheid finally began.
And suspicion caused by apartheid.
And in other parts of the world, more to the subject matter, 1990 was the year that West Germany won the World Cup that was held in Italy. And by the end of this year, East Germany and West Germany were reunited.
A day in which Germany became one country again.
Through all of these crazy events, this was the year that we got the 190E Evo 2 out of Mercedes-Benz. But this car actually originated from the final evolution of their compact sedan from 1982, codenamed W201. This car came with one of the biggest 4-banger petrol engines I've seen in a production car, having a normally aspirated 2.5-litre 16-valve inline-4 featuring multi-point injection represented by the E in 190E, which stands for Einspritzung. It improved performance and allowed this engine to make 235 horsepower and 245 Newton meters of torque. It was paired with the 5-speed manual dogleg get-drag transmission. See the dogleg there? The torque was then sent to the rear wheels, and the car weighing in at 1,340 kilograms, it could go up to a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour.
The car also came with quite a few aero upgrades from aerodynamics professor Richard Epler. They added a lip at the front and shaped it like a snowplow, enlarged wheel arches all round and side skirts that sat low to the ground. And the most noticeable thing is the massive rear wing that was made tall and extended rearward. All this increased downforce by 40%. So now we know the course, we know the car, and it's time to show you what happened in the run.
Racing autonomous ultra instinct.
can see I'm already coming on a flying lap. It was my second lap. I'm pretty sure it was my second lap, just to warm up the tires on the first run. Coming up to the start line, tires were really hot, and now officially the lap begins. Now heading down to T13. It's a very hard braking zone, very easy to mess up and end up in that right wall over there. But I kept it steady, got my tires to go cold again. Well, not cold, warm enough. Not too hot. Steady through there, tire got a little bit hot, but it wasn't that bad. I managed to keep her in line. Some hard braking for Hartzenbach. Now through Hoheneichen. I hope I don't butcher these names. I'm sorry if I do. I'm gonna do my best to try and pronounce them. Now through a corner of a name I can't even pronounce. I'll just put it on screen. And now finally a flat out section heading up to Flugplatz. I know how to say that at least. Trying to keep her smooth. Watching out for the tires not overheating. That was a huge risk through this whole lap, because I constantly saw red on the rear tires, and that was really scary. You could actually feel the car start to go a little bit unsteady and feel like you're driving on a cloud almost. Coming up through hard braking zone into Sweden Cruise, and then drop to 4th, flat out, and then back up to 5th. And now hard braking for Arenberg. And try to open up as much going down through Foxhole. Flat out here, not lifting for anything, not worried about how hot the rear tires are. I was just gunning it. Okay, you can see my ghost of my previous best time. I know that time was actually faster, but I didn't want to use that one because it wasn't clean. And then some hard braking for Adenauer Forst. You don't realize just how fast you're going through Foxhole when you come up to Adenauer Forst, and then you have to like really slow down. You know, it's really trippy on your mind. You can see my tires red hot as well. Now heading up to Metzgersfeld. I'm sure I said that right. Tried to keep a nice and tidy line through there and through here as well. Didn't want to overdo it, because a lot of the times before this I did overdo it and I ended up in the right wall. So I didn't want that again. So taking it nice and easy, being nice and smooth, and trying not to go too crazy. You can see the rapid camber changes through that corner. Not too bad, kept it nice and tidy. Still chasing my ghost though. My goal wasn't to beat my previous ghost, I just wanted to keep it in front of me. So I could see the lines I took, and I remembered where I made my mistakes. Like over there you see I went really wide. I almost nicked the wall in that run actually, but I didn't want to do that again. Nice and tidy through there. You have to keep a lot of speed through these uphill corners, because if you lose speed, you lose torque and your momentum just, you know, you lose everything at that point. Flat out through there. And now through Badvac. Nice and tidy. Don't want to overdo it by going to the outside onto the curbs. The curbs are not your friend with this car. Actually, you should really avoid them. I mean, I've done, you know, 2 wheels through a corner and it feels like, you know, I'm sitting on the profile of the tire instead of the actual tread. It was really scary. So yeah, curbs are not your friend with this car. Flat out through Kesselchen, Klosteral and Mutkurve. This was actually a little bit scary, but if I slow down too much, then I lose a lot of momentum. Over there, I just tried to keep it nice and tidy. You can see that rear right tire going red hot, and then the rear left one going red hot. So this was a really scary section, but I did it anyway, and I tried to keep it tidy. Almost lost it over here. Luckily, I was awake enough to keep it in line. Now heading up to the famous carousel. My goal was to stay above 80 the whole way through the carousel. Thankfully, I managed to do it, and I came out smooth. In the run with the Ghost though, I actually messed up a shift from 3rd to 4th. So thankfully this run I didn't, you know. There's a lot of mental load coming out of the carousel for me, and that messed me up before. Now heading up to Hedwig's Hoher. Went a little bit slidey over there, but not too bad, not too much. Still kept the line nice and clean. Bounced off the curbs for some stability. Sometimes I needed it, so I made use of it when I was exiting a corner rather than entering. Except here, I, you know, full on cut the corners. Tried to keep my foot hard on the throttle. Same here, full throttle, half throttle, full throttle, half throttle. That's how this whole section is through Rupperman, Essenbach, Brunschen, Ice Cover. I really love this section though. You can really go hard through here, but you do have to watch your exits though, because you can see the tires are getting red hot as you're exiting. It's really scary. You really do feel it, like the car is about to lose control any moment. Like there, you know. The Nordschleife, you know, they call it the green hell, but you know, I don't know. I don't feel like it's hell once you learn the rhythm. Nice jump over there, and nice and smooth. And then coming up to Sprunghugel. It's another jump, but I wasn't going fast enough to do it. Flat out as much as possible through this whole section. This constant left and right weight transfer, almost bring the whole lap over there. And then hard braking coming up to Schwalbenschwanz. Tried to keep it nice and tidy. Didn't want to climb the curbs, because once you do, it's like the car gets sucked to the right through the Kleines carousel. Went really wide on the exit because I didn't want to lose control of the car. I felt like I needed to go wide. And then Galgenkopf, keep nice and tidy, start off wide for the second part of it onto Dottinger Hohe, and then let the car bleed to the outside so I could carry as much speed, and obviously flat out the whole way down. I'm gonna say about 230 here, but then as I'm passing Tiergarten, the car just rapidly picks up speed because you start going down a hill. And then that's where things actually start to get really scary, you know. Actually from here it starts to get scary. The wheel is starting to rattle about. I'm doing my best to hold her steady. Don't want to lose control, because the few times I did, it was, you know, like tragic. It was just crazy. You can see tires red hot. And look at the wheel. It's shaking all over the place. I'm fighting my fear, and then hard braking coming up to Hohenrhein. Keep her steady, don't overcook it. That's what was going through my mind. Don't overcook it. And then across the line.
Now, my goal for this run was 830 or less, so obviously I'm happy with that run. I have to say that it makes a world of difference without the safety car, because I can carry more speed through mid-cover compared to doing it in Gran Turismo 4. And I have to say that this car right here is one of those cars I hold in very high regard, and this is aside from all the tech wizardry, from the fuel injection and aero improvements and so on. More than that, and this is something that I grade lots of cars on, is the balance. This car runs so clean and so steady that even though I was driving on a knife's edge with the rear tires heating up constantly, I still felt like I could keep the throttle open and keep going for it. So I guess this is what happens when I get to go all out in a very nicely balanced car on a perfect day at the Nordschleife. And on that note, we have reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, then leave a like and comment on what you enjoyed the most or what you would like to see me take around the Nordschleife. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, because I am working on a way to get a regular cycle of uploads just to keep you guys more regularly entertained. Anyway, that's all I have to say, except I hope all of you stay safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Reaper out.